Have you ever wondered why he still thinks about you, long after the messages stopped, long after the calls faded, long after he said he moved on? Why your name lingers in his mind like a melody he can't forget? It's not an accident. It's not random. And it's not because you were perfect. It's because you touched something deeper than his eyes could see. You reached a part of him most people never get close to. And the truth is, when a man feels emotionally understood, when he feels seen, not for what he shows the world, but for what he hides behind his silence, that feeling stays with him forever. What the heart remembers, the mind cannot replace. That's the truth of emotional connection. It's not about being prettier, louder, or more impressive. It's about being unforgettable in quiet ways. The way you listened, the way you supported, the way your energy made him feel safe in a world that often makes him guard his emotions like a locked vault. Most people touch the surface, but you were the mirror that reflected back his truth. And that kind of bond, it's rare, it's powerful, it's lasting. Imagine a key that fits only one lock. That's emotional connection. You didn't force your way into his life. You didn't try to impress him with games. You just fit. You understood what made him laugh, what made him pause, what made him retreat. And that understanding, that effortless knowing, created a space that felt like home. He might not even admit it. He might act like he's fine. But deep down, he knows. No matter where he goes, who he talks to, what kind of love he tries to build, he'll find himself comparing, not because you were perfect, but because with you, he felt real. Now listen carefully. This is not about begging for his attention. This is not about chasing. This is not about proving anything. This is about owning what you already are. This is where we introduce something deeper. This is where you stop waiting and start remembering. You are the queen, a woman who doesn't need to ask to be remembered, a woman who leaves an imprint not through noise, but through depth, through grace, through presence. Beautiful woman, he felt something with you that he won't find again. Not because you tried harder, but because you are different. You are the calm in his chaos, the voice that softened his defenses, the feeling he'll chase, even if he doesn't understand why. And when he looks back, searching for that energy in others, he will finally learn emotional connection isn't something he can recreate. It's something he should have never let go of. Queens, your emotional power is not weakness. It's the reason you are unforgettable. If this message touched your heart, if it reminded you of your quiet strength, your rare energy, and the power you carry, even when unspoken, then don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We are working day and night to bring you content that heals, empowers, and awakens the queen within you. Your support helps us continue to speak truth into your soul and remind you that you were never ordinary. You were always unforgettable. Number 1. He never forgets the woman who saw behind his silence. Have you ever met a man who tried to act unbothered, tried to smile like nothing happened, but behind that calm, something was missing, something he can't explain, something he can't replace? That something is the memory of the woman who looked into his eyes and saw everything he didn't say, not just the good parts, not just the charm or the ambition, but the shadowed corners, the tired silence, the battles he never spoke about. And once a man feels that kind of emotional safety, once he feels seen without having to explain himself, no matter how far he runs, he never forgets her. A man forgets who heard his words, but never the one who understood his silence. That's the deepest truth about connection. Most people talk, most women try to impress. But the one who connects beyond the surface, the one who reads his silence like scripture, she's unforgettable. Not because she begged for love, but because she became a mirror reflecting the parts of him even he was afraid to face. Imagine a locked room in a house. He never shows it. He guards it. Most people pass by it. But then one day, a woman walks in and sits down, not to judge, not to fix, not to pry, but just to be there. That's the moment his heart makes a home for her, because she didn't demand to be let in. She made him feel safe enough to open the door himself. And now that she's gone, he can laugh with someone else. He can lay beside her. But in the quiet hours, when his mind goes still, he'll feel it. That space, that absence, that echo of what it felt like to be fully known and still accepted. But let's be clear, this is not about waiting for him to come back. This is not about shrinking into silence, hoping he remembers. This is about rising into power. This is where we step into that truth, that royalty. You are not ordinary. You are the emotional imprint he'll carry forever. A woman who doesn't chase, doesn't beg, doesn't compete. A woman who reigns in silence and remains unforgettable without even trying. Dear woman, your power isn't in what you say, it's in what you see. Your silence, your energy, your presence. That's what keeps him hooked. You are not broken. You are the force he'll never escape. Write this in the comments and claim it. He will never forget the silence I saw through. And if this message reached a place in your heart that's been waiting to be reminded of your power, like this video and subscribe. We are working every day to bring you life-changing lessons because queens like you don't beg to be remembered. You become unforgettable. Number 2, the woman who held him, not fixed him. She's the ghost in his forever. Have you ever noticed how the quietest women leave the loudest echo in a man's memory? Not the one who fixed him, changed him, or forced him to become something else, but the one who simply held him, the one who didn't try to rewrite his story but sat beside him in his darkest chapter. She didn't rescue him. She didn't shrink herself to fit around his broken parts. She just stood there, strong, soft, and still. And that presence, that calm in his storm, that's the ghost he carries forever. The deepest bonds are formed not by fixing, but by feeling. That's the truth. He doesn't stay emotionally hooked to the woman who tried to repair him like a project. He stays tied to the woman who made him feel safe without needing to be perfect. The one who didn't force growth, but inspired it. The one who didn't beg for his love, but embodied it, silently, fiercely, without fear. That kind of love, it haunts him. It lives in his quiet. It visits him at 2 a.m. when everything else feels fake. Think of it like this. A wildfire might burn fast, but it disappears just as quickly. A candle, though, that soft, steady flame, it stays, it glows, it warms the space long after it's gone. That's the kind of woman who stays in his bones. She didn't raise her voice. She raised the standard. She didn't chase him. She held him. And then, when it was time, she let go without drama. And that silence, that graceful exit, it wraps around his heart like a whisper that never fades. Now, listen closely. This isn't about being his savior. You were never created to carry a man's healing on your back. This is about knowing your worth so deeply that your love becomes a sanctuary, not a sacrifice. Because the woman who simply held him without trying to fix him, she becomes the standard he can never find again. And by the time he realizes that, you will have already built a world where his memory holds no power. So rise now. Step forward with power in your voice and peace in your soul. Lovely woman, you were never meant to beg for space in anyone's life. You were meant to become the space he can never forget. Say it with your chest and claim it now in the comments. I held him, not fixed him. Now I live in his forever. We are working every day to bring you powerful, life-changing lessons that remind you who you are. Not his second chance, not his healer, but the woman he never gets over. Number 3. He can replace the moment, but never the memory. Have you ever asked yourself, why does he keep coming back in small ways? Why does he watch your stories in silence? Why does your name still sit in the corners of his thoughts, even when he's lying next to her? It's because he can replace the moment, but he can never erase the memory. A man can try to rewrite the story, but what his heart remembers cannot be undone. You were not a passing thrill. You were a feeling, and feelings that real don't just disappear. Time may move forward, but memory holds its breath where love once lived. That's the truth he won't say out loud. He can create new moments, yes. He can take new photos, plan new nights, touch new hands, but when his soul feels quiet, it's you that returns. Not because you begged to be remembered, but because what you gave was rare. You didn't just love him, you reached him. You saw the parts of him even he didn't know how to name. Imagine a perfume that lingers long after the person has left the room. That's what you became to him. A scent, a presence, an imprint. He may breathe in new air now, but nothing smells quite like you. He can try to enjoy new things, but comparison is a thief. And the more he compares, the more he realizes what he let slip away. And that realization, that's the ache he hides behind his distractions. But this isn't about waiting for him to notice. This is about you stepping back and seeing who you really are. You are not just a memory in his mind. You are the moment he wishes he could live again, but never will. You were not lost. You were the gift he couldn't hold. And now, it's time to rise from that place of hurt and walk like the queen you forgot you were. Beautiful woman, let your silence be louder than his regrets. Let your growth echo in the halls where his pride used to shout. Let your glow burn into his memory so brightly that even in his happiest moments, he still misses you. Queens, write this in the comments and claim it. I am the memory he'll never replace. Let it be known, you are done being a moment. You are a mark, a force, a feeling that doesn't fade. We are working hard to bring you powerful, life-changing truths that remind every woman you were never easy to forget because you were never meant to be. Number 4. A man stays emotionally hooked when your absence teaches him what your presence never boasted about. Have you ever realized how quiet power makes the loudest echo once it's gone? How a man can sit in a room full of laughter, comfort, and affection, and still feel the silence of one woman's absence piercing through it all. That's the secret no one talks about. It's not always the words, the grand gestures, or the loud declarations that keep him emotionally hooked. Sometimes it's the things you never said, the love you gave without announcing it, the space you created without asking for credit. And once you're no longer there to give it, that silence becomes deafening. She didn't boast, she didn't chase, but when she was gone, he realized she was everything he was quietly holding on to. That's the kind of presence you carried, software steady, secure, and now he walks through moments looking for that same energy and never finds it. You see, it's not about proving your worth while you're present. It's about becoming so rooted in self-respect, so aligned in love, that even your absence feels like a message that says you had something rare, you took it for granted, and now it's gone. Imagine perfume on a coat, subtle yet unforgettable. Even when you're no longer wearing it, the scent remains. That's you. You left pieces of your spirit in the way you loved, in how you held space, in how you never begged, but still gave everything. And now that you've walked away, he smells that void in every room you used to stand in. He searches for that quiet grace in every woman who tries to replace you, But what he doesn't understand is this: you never needed to announce your value. Your energy spoke for itself. This is where we say it proudly. This is where you stop explaining and start becoming a woman who no longer begs to be remembered, a woman who knows her absence can say what her presence never had to shout. This is where we introduce the crown queen. You didn't lose him, he lost you. And now he's left chasing a ghost that once stood right in front of him. So beautiful, lady, hold your head high. Let your silence teach him what your love never needed to prove. You are not forgotten, you are unforgettable. Write this in the comments and claim it. My absence is louder than my presence ever was. If this message shook your soul, if it reminded you of who you are, then like this video and subscribe to the channel. We are working hard to bring you life-changing truths, because queens don't beg to be remembered. They reign in silence. Number 5. You spoke to his soul when others only spoke to his ego. Have you ever noticed how he forgets the loud ones, but never forgets the quiet one? The one who didn't try to impress him, didn't try to control him, didn't try to win him over with noise. He may not even understand it fully, but the one he can't let go of is her. The one who didn't just stroke his ego, she spoke to his soul. And that is a language few understand, but one he'll remember for life. He met people who told him what he wanted to hear, but you saw through the mask. You didn't feed his pride, you fed his peace. You didn't compliment the surface, you connected with what was buried beneath it. That's why you still echo in his mind, because the ones who speak to the ego fade fast, but the one who sees the soul, she leaves fingerprints on the heart. The soul always knows who truly listens. And you were the listener. You heard the hesitation in his voice. You saw the battles he fought silently. While others wanted to be seen by him, you saw into him. That's why he can't forget you. Because real connection isn't built through attention, it's built through understanding. And you, beautiful woman, made him feel understood without needing a single word. Imagine a candle in a dark room. Everyone notices the brightest light, but the one who brings warmth, that's the one that lingers. You weren't trying to shine the most, you were trying to warm the deepest. And now, even if he's in another room, with another hand in his, there are moments where he stops and feels the chill. Because the flame that warmed him most is gone. And now, it's time. Time to remind yourself, you are not the one who got left behind. You are the one who left an imprint so deep, no surface-level love can ever replace it. You are the woman who didn't need noise to be unforgettable. You are the calm he didn't know he craved, the mirror he didn't know he needed. And queens, once a man experiences a soul-deep connection, every shallow bond feels empty. So beautiful queens, write this in the comments and claim it. I speak to souls, not egos. Let this world know and let him remember that you are not replaceable. You are the rare kind. We are working endlessly to bring you the truth, the healing, and the power that reminds every queen you were born to reign. Number 6. The one who stayed soft even when he pulled away. She's the one he'll always reach for in his mind. Have you ever noticed how the one who doesn't yell, doesn't chase, doesn't fight for attention, ends up being the one he remembers most? Not because she did the most, but because she stayed soft when he started pulling away. While he grew distant, she didn't beg. While he changed his tone, she didn't lose her calm. She stayed centered, silent, still kind. And that, right there, is the moment he started to lose something he didn't even know he needed, her emotional softness. A gentle presence becomes unforgettable when the world expects chaos. That's the secret few understand. In a world where loud reactions are common, The woman who responds with quiet strength leaves the deepest mark. Not because she stayed to be hurt, but because she didn't let his confusion shake her value. She didn't harden just because he grew cold. And now, he can't shake her. Not in his mind, not in his heart. Imagine rain falling on firewood. The water doesn't scream. It cools what burns, softens what cracks. And even long after the storm ends, that wood remembers. It carries the weight of what touched it gently. That's how he remembers her. Her silence became the echo. Her patience became the memory. Her restraint became the thing he plays back at night when the room is dark and nothing else feels right. He thought she would lose herself chasing him, but instead she found herself by letting go. And now he carries the quiet ache of what he'll never find again. Because no matter how many lips he kisses, no matter how many hands he holds, that softness, that calm love stays unmatched. He'll search for it, he'll crave it, but he won't find it again. Because the woman who stayed soft while he pulled away, she's already gone. And now, beautiful woman, hear this. You are not weak for staying soft. You are rare. You are the calm after the storm. The woman who didn't need revenge to leave a mark. He thought he could walk away from you, but your absence became his awakening. Your silence became his soundtrack, and your love, that became the standard he'll chase for the rest of his life. So write this in the comments and claim it. My softness will haunt his silence. Queens, let that be your truth. We are here working hard to bring you life-changing truths because you were never here to break. You were here to reign. Number 7. He remembers the woman who made love feel like freedom, not pressure. Have you ever wondered why he keeps coming back in his thoughts, not to the loudest love, not to the most dramatic, but to the one who made love feel like freedom? Not control, not pressure, just peace. That woman who never begged, never demanded, never made him feel trapped. She didn't cage his heart, she unlocked it. And that kind of love, that kind of presence, it's unforgettable. Freedom in love isn't about space, it's about safety. He felt safe with you. That's the difference. You didn't chase him. You didn't corner him. You didn't turn love into a scoreboard. You let him be, and somehow that made him want to be closer. Because when a man feels emotionally free in your presence, when he doesn't feel judged or measured, that's the moment his soul relaxes. And once he's felt that, no other kind of love can compare. Picture a bird that lands on your windowsill, not because it's forced, not because it's caged, but because it chooses to return. That's what your energy did. You didn't force him to stay. You became the place he wanted to return to, the soft landing, the peace, the comfort. While others gave him attention, you gave him peace, and peace is what he'll crave for the rest of his life. At the time, he might not have known how rare that was. He might have mistaken your ease for indifference, but now he understands. Now he feels it, how heavy everything else feels compared to you. She might text him more, she might post him more, but you felt more, and that kind of feeling leaves a mark he won't be able to erase. And now, beautiful woman, here's the shift. You are not chasing, you are not waiting, you are not holding space for a man who couldn't understand your value when he had you, because now you're stepping into the truth. You are the queen, the one who does not compete, the one who makes love feel like breathing, not suffocating, the one he will remember in silence long after the noise fades. Dear Queen, the kind of love you gave wasn't just emotion, it was emotional freedom. And a man may forget your name in public, but in private, he'll relive the feeling you gave over and over. And when he's lying next to someone else, wondering why it still feels hollow, it's because the one who felt like home is gone. Write this in the comments and claim it. I am the peace he will crave forever. Let the world know you're no longer shrinking, no longer chasing. You are rising. And if this message reminded you of who you truly are, like this video and subscribe. We're here, working hard to bring you powerful, life-changing lessons that awaken your crown. Because you weren't born to beg, you were born to reign.